It is very likely that you are a retirement butterfly. What I mean is that you're going to go through a transformation from working in some capacity or another to not working. Now, I personally believe that you should never retire. I'll talk about that a little bit in just a moment. But if you are actually planning on going from being a worker bee to being fully retired, you are going to go through a metamorphosis, right? So you're going to go from being that caterpillar to a butterfly. It's all about transformation. It's about enjoying a breakthrough going from working to not working and finally enjoying life. But if you think about that, you should never retire from the point of view of stopping to create value for other people, whether it's just your family, heck, even just yourself. You need to create and build. You need to manifest. So you might have thought about retirement. Oh, I'm working, and when I'm not working, I'm just going to sit around and relax. I'm finally going to relax and not be frustrated. But humans need meaning. They need purpose. So this episode is all about that. This is about your transformation. This is about your breakthrough. All right. So we have three ideas to cover here. The first is the new retirement mindset. The next is finding meaning and also purpose in retirement. Last but not least, the ultimate freedom plan. So we've got three awesome chunks. Number one, the new retirement mindset is really about never retiring, which is what I started off with. You're not ever actually retiring if you are a self-actualizing human being. What I'm getting at here is so misunderstood. I'm not saying that you don't want to stop working. Of course, you want to stop working for other people, making other people rich. Of course, you don't want to be working at a job you don't enjoy. Of course, you don't want to be working for a boss hole. No one wants that. I don't know anyone who loves working for an insidious beast. No one loves the slave chains. No one enjoys that. I don't know one person. There are people that enjoy certain types of suffering because they like to test themselves. They like to stress themselves and have ways of understanding, the depth of discipline. These are noble goals in themselves, and they are interesting, and maybe that is you. It's like the person that you see who is running for miles and miles, right? They're jogging and they're smiling. And you're like, what the hell? Right? The smiling joggers. I don't get that. Now, that said, if someone loves running, they love running. Maybe they're getting runner's high. Maybe great things are happening. But don't forget running as well, jogging versus walking. Jogging can beat your joints up. Beware. All right, let's dive in. That new retirement mindset of never retiring, you need to understand why you're retiring from work. And that doesn't mean you're retiring from life. You're not retiring from work itself. I'm talking about like punching keys in a keyboard. If you're writing a letter to a friend or typing a note to your daughter at school, if you're doing something like that, or if you're handwriting a birthday letter or a birthday note to a grandkid, is that work? I mean, you're putting time and effort in, so that's work. So why not channel the idea of doing things for other people and providing value into retirement, right? So take your skills, your knowledge, the best of what you learned and can do, and apply that to what you might be doing in retirement. But now it's under your terms, under your control, your power. So don't retire as much from life, retire from nasty work. Retire from nasty work and retire into meaningful, purposeful work. So never retire. That's what I mean. There's a great video on that on the Rhodes Brothers channel. Okay. Many retirees, when they retire, they think of a job role. They think about what they did in their previous life, so to speak. But there's no reason why you can't take your skills and your knowledge and apply it to consulting, mentoring, and creating, paid or unpaid. Either way, whatever works for you. If you want to get paid or need to get paid, that's one thing. If you don't, you don't. You might be able to help people out that are young and ambitious, and you provide the guidance and the planning with your skills. Some people might need emotional support. So maybe you go to the local hospital or you go to the local old folks home. Probably shouldn't say that. Okay, fine. You go to where people need you to play games, to interact, to do things for them and with them. Maybe you are a shopper for them. Maybe you do things around the holidays with them and for them. Maybe they're lonely. They just want to talk to someone. And maybe that's your unique gift, the gift of listening, the gift of compassion. Some people are not built for that. You'd be surprised. But you might be, and that could provide radical awareness and also radical and purposeful, true deep meaning. It's a wonderful thing. The right people doing the right work at the right time never retire, yet you're not working for someone else, making someone else wealthy. By the way, I love employees. I love people that work, and I have worked for people in the past. For sure, I don't do that now. Neither does my brother Matt Rhodes. We help people escape from their jobs, and so that they become entrepreneurs and business folks. If you're interested in that, look in the description below. Create your own life before retirement and then carry that into retirement. Man, if you've created your own business, your own job, your own side hustle, why retire ever if you're doing something that you love? Something you can do on and on and on. Okay. Continuing on here, you can turn hobbies into income streams as well. So again, you're not going to retire from working and creating. You're going to you can take some of your hobbies, not all of them, beware, right? Beware, but you can turn some of your hobbies into income streams. I have a friend who has retired, and I said, hey, how are things going? And you know what he does? He trades stocks, right? Stocks and options and futures. He trades. He's a trader now. He wasn't before, but he took his knowledge and he took his skills, and he's doing that to make some side money, some scratch. And he's also very heavily involved in going to auctions and to bookstores and to, I mentioned auctions like estate auctions as well, but also closeout sales. And you know what he does? eBay. He loves eBay. eBay, day in, day out. eBay, baby. That's what he does. So he does trading, day trading in particular, and he does the eBay thing. And he does really well. It's different than what he used to do. It's really incredible. It's wonderful, in fact. Okay, so you can take these hobbies and turn them into income streams. It works really well. In all these cases that I've already mentioned, you're not trying to escape. You're not trying to like leave life behind. Not at all. You're trying to create the life that you want as soon as possible and that you can continue doing for a very long period of time as safely and securely as you possibly can. Again, it's not an end. It's the transformation. It's a breakthrough from your old life to a much better life, even though you're getting a wee bit older. Who cares? It can be better than ever. Relaxing, it can be fun. You can be spending time with the grandkids. Wonderful. Stress-free, or very low stress at least. Okay. Number 2, find meaning and purpose in retirement. Now, I've talked about this at length in a variety of ways, but I want to talk about how being a volunteer and helping others is not just physically good for you, it's mentally good, because not only are you getting out of the house or your home, you're traveling, you're interacting, you're seeing what's going on in the community, and you're helping other people. And when you help other people, that giving really helps them out. The gratitude is real. It makes a significant difference in your life. So selfishly, I know it sounds crazy, like I volunteer because it's wonderful for other people, and that's the only reason I do it. No, it ain't. No, it's not. No, it's not. That's not why. A key reason to volunteer is that it's a selfish activity that benefits you, keeps you engaged, keeps you active, keeps your mind sharp. Obviously, it also benefits other people. So just because it's a wee bit selfish, it doesn't mean that you're not providing real value to others and having a real, if not tremendous, substantial impact on other people. Don't worry about, I'm just volunteering to make myself feel good. That's fine. It's fine. Perfectly fine. It is. You have permission to be a little bit selfish, a little bit greedy. It's okay, right? It's human. You know why it's all right? Because other people are benefiting from it. So it's all good. We're good here. Okay. Another thing is that it's still a good idea, despite being retired, to set goals and then work the system, work the process. Document what you're doing and improve the system that you built by way of the documentation. Now that sounds like what? Crazy. But create checklist, create those bucket lists. Yes, that's true. But maybe what you're doing is learning a new way to, do stuff with animals. Build a chicken coop, chickens in the backyard. Maybe another example is dogs and or cats and cat and dog breeding. And you get into that and you learn, like, what does that mean? What's going on? What's the activity like? It might be something like beehives. I'm trying to pick things that are like whatever, gardening. And you can set goals for what you're trying to achieve, how much honey to how to keep a certain number of bees, keep them alive, what kind of flowers, what needs to be planted nearby, how to keep them healthy, whatever it might be. I don't know. I'm not a bee guy, but you could be, and you could improve the bee activity in the beehives and provide benefit to yourself and maybe even to the community. You could teach the kids and so on. There's lots of stuff you can do if you've documented, if you're reading, if you're using software and you're learning these new tools. You're doing this new stuff. It's great. Why not be a beekeeper? Hey, beekeeper. It's kind of crazy, right? Why not? Why not be a beekeeper? I don't know. You can do it. Why not? Someone's got to be a beekeeper. Might as well be you, but the process is what matters there. The process is what matters. Okay, another thing is creativity and spirituality. I can't tell you the number of people that have neglected their creativity for years. They actually want to do something with music or dancing or other types, maybe painting, and they want to express themselves. When you work for someone else, it's hard to express yourself and be yourself. But in retirement, you can be your most natural self. You can finally express and release. It's a release valve from those years of working for other people for their goals. Set your own goals, work the process, work the system, and you can paint forever. You can paint forever. You can work clay forever. You can do these kinds of activities. You can play the piano forever almost. You can, guitar. There's musical instruments that are just dying for you. They need you. The instruments need you. It's great, isn't it? The instruments need you. They do. They do. Of course they do. Right? Maybe the instruments are alive. Maybe rocks are alive. Maybe different things in life are actually alive. Maybe the instruments really do need you. Maybe the canvas needs you. Why not talk this way? Why not act a little jacked up in the head a little bit? It's like, wow, that's really creative. That's pretty wild. You can start thinking in these wild, crazy ways, fun ways. Play. You can play. That's what I'm doing. I'm playing right now. You see, I'm kind of thinking like, whoa, what's going on? I can do that. I can think that way if I'm thinking about being in retirement, and you can do the exact same thing. Okay, so another thing is spirituality. I mentioned it, but let's get into it. So spirituality might mean religion, and it might not. It might mean something as simple as learning about chakras. It might be learning about vibration and frequencies. It might be learning about maybe electromagnetism. It might mean something like medicine, holistic medicine, and chemicals and medicines and drugs versus, I don't know, getting a massage and the differences. Maybe you need to hang upside down like a bat. Whoa, that's crazy. Maybe not. Maybe it stretches out your spine, changes blood flow. Who knows? Maybe something in the bio cryo freeze capsules, right? You get in and like a chamber, and you're just kind of laying there. You can do things like that. There's experiments that you can run for fun. You can experiment with recipes and food, how it makes you feel. You can keep track of these things. You can do all kinds of research about your health, and that will get you in touch with yourself and your inner spirit and the spirit of the world. Again, it might be religion and it might not be. Lots of ways to think about what you don't see with your eyes. What's happening in life and what can you do? You notice in this episode, and it is an episode, we're going nuts and crazy and wild together. I've used crazy phrases. I've talked about wild, nutty things. I probably seem like I'm a little bit off and wacko, but I'm not. It's really a matter of thinking about what life is about and what the possibilities are and what you can be doing. Again, you could be a beekeeper. You could be a bat hanging upside down. These things are real. They're real in your mind. And then you see how well they line up with what you want out of life. Crazy stuff. It's fun, right? We're having a good time. You should be having a good time. You should be playing and getting in touch with yourself in retirement. You should be. Okay. You will also want to be able to measure how well your retirement is going in non-financial ways. You could be doing something like, hey, I'm looking in retirement to shed 10 pounds of fat. You can measure that. You can work on that. Figure out what makes sense for you. Losing 10 pounds of fat is not money. It's not one-to-one with money. It might cost money. It might take time. So what? It's retirement. Measure fat in retirement. Why not? You see? This is what you can do in retirement. You can go nuts and have fun and go wacky and play, be a child, be awesome, build your circle of competence, build your relationships, get in touch with yourself, express. Art is your friend. Okay. Number 3, ultimate freedom plan. Okay. So you want to align your finances, lifestyle, and legacy with your long-term goals. Know what it is that happens at the end. Work backwards. Next, you want to be able to pivot and adapt your plan as circumstances warrant and as they change. You're going to have a plan. You've been building it out. You've been thinking about it. Get it written down. Talk to others about it. Have the plan in place. But the number one thing to keep in mind with the plan, you need to be adaptable. You need to be able to change that plan. It's part of why running the what if scenarios, why it's so important. What if this happens? What if that happens? You don't need to be an economist. You don't need to follow macroeconomic trends. You don't even need to follow the stock market that much or anything. But you do need to be aware of what's going on and periodically look in on things. And if the money coming in isn't what it should be, or if it's way higher than it was according to your plan, you want to adapt and adjust accordingly. Adapt and adjust accordingly. You might have multiple breakthroughs, in fact, in your life throughout your retirement. You might have a first breakthrough where maybe you hit your first million. Maybe you hit some crazy milestone. You're like, whoa, now I'm a multi-millionaire because you hit 2 million. That's more than 1 million, right? Multi-million. So you might have these opportunities to celebrate, to adapt, to change what it is that you're doing. Your retirement might be going great. You can adapt. Things aren't going well. The economy is tanking. My investments are tanking. What do I do? Adapt. So be adaptable, right? Bend with the wind. Don't snap. Don't break, right? Bend with the wind. Run those what if scenarios. Know exactly what you're able to do. Plan ahead for change. Plan ahead for change. I'm going to end with this. It's of critical importance. You want to embrace the power of gratitude, celebrate your achievements, enjoy the journey, because it's exactly what it is. Retirement should be a journey, not a destination. The meaning, right? The very meaning of retirement is in your hands. It's what you decide that it is. It's not in the hands of other people, right? It's your health. It's your relationships. It's your wealth. Yeah, the outside world does have an impact on these things, but you have way more control than you might have ever expected before. I will also say again that you should continue working, providing value to other people. There's nothing like helping out other people, and there's also nothing else like being grateful for everything that you already have right here, right now. Be grateful for what you've done, who you've become, really everything that you've done, whether it's education, the work you've done, the people you've impacted, the size of your portfolio, the strength that you've got, the lack of fat, the extra muscle you've got. right? Your kids, grandkids, right? Be very, very thankful and grateful for what you've got right now. You've got way more than so many people who are, they're struggling. Many people out there, they are really, truly struggling in your neighborhood, even. You'd be surprised. And around the world, it's very likely you're in the top 10% of all humans that have ever lived. You might even be in the top 1%, even within the United States, and be like, whoa, I didn't realize that I was in the top 1%, right? So if you're in, well, listen, if you're seeing this video or hearing this video, if you're listening to it, think about this. Your ability to hear my words puts you at the very, very top of the mountain. You're doing fantastic right here and right now. No matter how bad things might seem, you are doing really, really well. And you're flexible, you're adaptable, you can do this. You have what it takes. Now, this is not rah rah, this is not feel good. What this really is my reflection of gratitude. So you've spent this time with me and with the Rhodes brothers, my brother Matt Rhodes and I'm John Rhodes. This is Greater Wealth Through Mastery. We've gone through this little short series together, and all of the podcasts and all the videos we do it for you as a way of giving back for your time, for your attention, for you just even listening for a moment and thinking about some of the things that we have said and that we have done. Opting in to get our emails, making a small purchase, making a large investment, working with us in some capacity or another. This is a way of giving back to you. So thank you very much for being here. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the Rhodes Brothers channel. Please subscribe. It has a tremendous, a profound impact on the algorithms and also your ability to get updates when we release more teaching, more training, more podcast. There's so much more that we have coming as well. Please subscribe to the channel. It really does make a difference. I'm not begging, I'm asking forcefully and directly because it makes such a difference. If you don't, you don't. Someone else will come along and like and subscribe, and they will comment, and we'll interact, and we'll resonate with them. I'd like it to be you, but I understand. Okay. That being said, one more time, John S. Rhodes of the Rhodes Brothers. This is Greater Wealth Through Mastery, and we'll see you in the next training. Thanks again for spending time with us. We really do appreciate it.